Something not everybody knows is that every woman is one man away from destroying her life. Give this little watch.
I'm going to say this in the nicest way possible. Please don't settle. When you're laying here in the hospital room, you're going to want your best friend holding you and telling you that everything's going to be okay. You're going to want your husband to be by your side and to know that he's going to be faithful while you're in here.
Can I tell you just a couple stories from my life? So I ended up with a guy who was in no way worthy of me. He was not up to my level whatsoever. And I don't know, 15 years into our marriage, at age 36, for me, I ended up with a benign ovarian tumor. At the time, it was the most terrifying thing that I had ever been through. And I remember after the surgery to remove it, when I began to get very sick, I would eventually turn septic. I would eventually have a near death, an actual near death experience, not just like, oh my gosh, that was so scary. I was almost late for yoga. I almost had a near death experience, but like an actual, I was deceased. I was out of body and it was terrifying. So during this era, I had to keep going back to the hospital. I'd go home and then get very sick and then go back to the hospital. So one morning, I wasn't doing well at all. And this was leading up to this near death experience. And I told him, I need you to take me back to the hospital. And he was pissed. Like, it is 2 o'clock in the fucking morning. Why am I taking back to the hospital? He did. He threw me in the minivan. He drove me to the hospital. I was critically ill following a major surgery. Within 10 days, I would be septic and almost die. He dropped me off at the curb. He said goodbye. I waved somebody down, got a wheelchair, went inside, and I never saw him again, not for the next 2 days. And what was really scary was they put me in a room, and then the nurses had like changed hands in the emergency room. So they forgot that I was in there. I was unable to get myself out of bed. I was dying. I was literally dying. And I was in this back room because they suspected that I had a highly contagious super bacteria that I had acquired during surgery. They were right. And I didn't have a cell phone. I didn't have any way to get a hold of anybody. My husband wasn't there. For 48 hours, dude never checked on me, not one. He didn't give a rat's ass about me. Okay, so story number two. During that same era where I was fighting for my life, trying to be there for my babies, afraid that I was going to die, I would find out that my husband had been cheating on me like our entire marriage and really a ton during the time that I was really sick. And the first question that I asked him when I found out that most of the girls were paid professionals, if you know what I mean, I asked him, did you use protection? And he said, no. He said, you were already dying and you were really suffering. So if